Hey guys, it's Casey's Politics. So today is May 5th, 2025. A couple of days ago, I made my 2026 Senate prediction, and although we are pretty far out from the 2026 midterm elections, I will be filling out this governor map for 2026 with the information we currently have as of May 5th, 2025. So without further ado, let's fill out this governor's map. We're going to start off with safe Republican states. States that Republicans do not need to worry about at all. So these will be states, and this may be a bit of a wild card, but I'll say Kansas. This will be a flip. Incumbent Democrat Laura Kelly is term limited. Some say this is likely, some say this is lean. I think this is safe Republican. I think it'll be 10 plus points. Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, we have Vermont, Phil Scott, assuming he runs. And that will be it for the safe Republican states. So now we're going to be moving on to the safe Democrat states. That will be Oregon, California, Hawaii, Colorado. Jared Polis is term limited. I think that will still be safe. Illinois, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Maine. So those are going to be the safe Democrat states. Now we're going to fill out the lean to likely states. First off, Iowa. Incumbent Kim Reynolds is not running. She's relatively unpopular. Democrats will likely run incumbent Auditor Rob Sand, who's the only Democrat statewide elected official in Iowa. For Republicans, it may be Brenna Bird, who's the Attorney General. But no matter who the nominee is for Republicans, as long as it's not Carrie Lake, I think this will be likely Republican. And we have Ohio. This will likely be Vivek for the Republican nomination. He's a bit of a weak candidate. And for the Democrats, it may be Tim Ryan or Amy Acton, who are not very good candidates. Ohio is a pretty red state now, so I think that's likely. I say Vivek will win about maybe somewhere between 3 to 5 points. And now we have Texas. It looks like Greg Abbott is probably going to run for re-election. I don't see him with a problem winning. Florida probably going to be Byron Donalds or Casey DeSantis. Um, Again, I don't see a problem with any of them winning. So now we have the likely Democrat states. That will be New York. Kathy Hochul, she's pretty unpopular, but the national environment and New York is New York. Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro. This may get down to lean, perhaps. Lots of people thought Bob Casey would win by a safe margin. I mean, not a lot of people, but some people thought that. Some people thought likely. It ended up being Tilton McCormick. So, who knows? Now we have Minnesota. Tim Walz has definitely lost popularity after him being the vice president nominee for Democrats. He kind of lost his moderate brand a little bit, but it's Minnesota. He's the incumbent. New Mexico. New Mexico is New Mexico. Um, Republicans don't have much of a bench. So now we're going to be doing the lean states. Firstly, New Hampshire. This can be likely, but out of precaution, I'll put it at lean. Kelly Ayotte is a great candidate. Um, she's the incumbent governor. She's pretty popular. Now we have Alaska. This may actually be, I'll put this at likely. I was gonna put it at lean, but I'll put it at likely. It may be Mary Peltola for Democrats. Maybe Nancy Dahlstrom, who's the current lieutenant governor for the Republicans. But I think this will be probably a 4 or 5 point win for Republicans. Peltola's the nominee. Probably Republicans will win it by 2. So Now we will fill out Nevada. Joe Lombardo, he is pretty popular in Nevada, but he will be facing Aaron Ford, who's the Democrat Attorney General. He's the best candidate Democrats could run. But Lombardo is pretty popular. Aaron Ford is a good candidate, but Republicans have seen lots of good trends in Nevada also. So I'm confident Lombardo will win there. Now we have Georgia. I think this will be tilt to lean. Chris Carr is a great candidate. He's the Attorney General for Republicans. He's probably going to be the nominee. And Democrats, it may be Lucy McBath or some state senator. I forgot his exact name, but he's relatively unknown. So I think Carr will win by maybe a point or two. So now we have these three states. These are going to be pretty competitive. Um, so Wisconsin, I think will be lean for Tony Evers. Um, again, Republicans don't have much of a bench there, and we have Michigan. I think this will be tilt Democrat. John James, arguably, arguably the best candidate Republicans can run here. But with the national environment, Democrats are running a strong candidate, Jocelyn Benson, who's the Secretary of State. Um, there may also be an uphill climb for Benson due to Mike Duggan taking away left wing votes in the Detroit area. But if this was a more favorable year for Republicans, I think John James will win by tilt margin. John James can absolutely win this race. I'm not saying it's impossible. He could very well win this race. It's essentially a toss up due to Mike Duggan throwing a wrench in the race. So now we have Arizona. This is a pure toss up, but it looks like Andy Biggs may be the nominee. Facing Katie Hobbs, who's kind of unpopular. Last prediction I had Arizona is Till Democrat. I think I'll actually put it at Till Republican. Andy Biggs, even though he's a pretty weak candidate, Karen Taylor Robson would be a better candidate, but Andy Biggs has more name recognition than Carrie Lake has, and he could arguably appeal more moderates, if that makes sense. I just have that feeling. Hobbs can easily win this race also. It is absolutely not a lock for Andy Biggs, assuming he's the nominee for Republicans. But I think he might be able to win by the skin of his teeth, especially with Hispanic trends, Trump outperforming polling in Arizona in last year's presidential election. So, this will be my first governor map of May 2025. Lots of things can change going into November 2026, so keep that in mind. But thank you guys for watching. This has been Casey's Politics.